Hey guys, this is Fernando from Iron Age Audioworks. Today I have to finish building a QPP, and I thought I'd just sort of walk you through the process, and at the same time I could share with you guys at least my perspective on how Iron Age Audioworks came to be. And then another day when Matt's here, maybe we can do it again and he can tell us his perspective. So, about this QPP. We had populated a lot of PCBs, both for QPPs and V2s, and we couldn't finish building them because we were missing some of these output transformers in the pinned format. We have some wired ones, but we use those for the 500 series stuff. And so, as orders come in, then what I'll do is I'll solder the output transformers and then finish building the stuff. So this is what it looks like. This is what I would say freshly stuffed QPP PCB looks like. And then over here we have the enclosure. These enclosures are made by the nice folks at Protocase, nicest people in Nova Scotia. They have a pretty cool software CAD type program. What you see is what you get, where you can configure cases and then also do face plates, holes, apply studs, threads, even then include graphics and art. And then once you have everything done, configured, you can quickly get things quoted, go through engineering review, art review, and then they work amazingly fast. So it's been a great enabler for us to have found them. So what I'm going to do is just pretty much just put this guy in here, fasten a bunch of things down, and then once everything is fastened down, I'll just do a quick test. So while I do that, I'll tell you guys how Iron Age Audioworks got started. I've known Matt for a long time, more than 10 years I think. We're both mechanical engineers, and we met at our day job, and he must have seen me soldering something or tinkering with something. I've always tinkered and built stuff, and one day he asked me, because he plays the bass and he had a band. He said, "Hey man, can you help me build a pedal?" And I said, "Sure. I don't know anything about pedals, but I can help you if you bring this stuff." So brought all the components, schematic. We built it, and I think he said it worked fine. Maybe it was a little noisy, just based on some schematics that maybe he found on the internet or whatever. And then time went by, and I knew Matt played in a band, and one time they decided to go record, and they went and recorded at Sylvia Massey's studio. And when he came back, he kept talking about how cool it was, how great of an experience. How he learned a lot of good stuff, and he got this bug where he's like, "Man, I wish I could have a studio. I wish I could have a studio." So he's dreaming, configuring his dream studio. He's researching consoles, and he also at that time then found a Sound Workshop 1280 console, I think in Reverb or something, and he bought it. And then he brought it here and he said, "Man, help me see if it works." And at the same time he's sort of thinking, "Man, these consoles are pretty expensive. I think I can make one. I think I can design one," because he went deep and he started researching a bunch of schematics and designs and just getting into the I'd say the electronic design aspect. Participates on a lot of forums. Matt's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. So through asking really good questions or just researching stuff, he starts to meet people, kind of like explaining this journey that he's on, trying to make, select a console, make a console. And so we sort of did two things in parallel. One of them was making some mods for this 1280 that he bought, and we did summing bus, and we did some other thing. I can't remember what it was called. But oh, and we also he also designed a power supply and added phantom power, because the 1280s don't have onboard phantom power. So we modded a 1280, sort of shared our experience on some forums. So other people started asking, hey, can you mod mine? Can you mod mine? And then all of a sudden 1280 started showing up in my house from people that were purchasing them and then having them shipped here, so that we could sort of just go through a quick inspection, recapped a bunch of them, found some broken faders here and there, some really dirty ones, and yeah, so did that, got sort of like our feet wet with these 1280s, and then Matt one day says, man, I need to build a channel strip. I need you to help me build a channel strip. So we built this channel strip. Everything we made at this point was very rudimentary. Matt was learning how to do electronic design, PCB layouts, using LT Spice to simulate some of his circuits. He also went in deep on op amps. We've built tons of op amps. We have an op amp graveyard. These are not dead ones, these are actually good. But you know, we just sort of learning a ton about how this stuff comes together, how it works, troubleshooting, and then we build a channel strip. I don't have the channel strip here, I have the guts somewhere. And I think some people said, man, I'd love to try it, And we sent it around, and people sort of said, man, I want one. Or we also built this guy here in a much more rudimentary form, QPPs, and I have my own early version of a QPP that I made. I can, after I'm done with this one, I'll open that one, put them side by side so you can sort of see and compare. So people are sort of liking the channel strip. People are sort of liking the fact that we can help them fix 1280s. And then another friend of ours who makes microphones, tube microphones, his name is Chris, and his microphone brand is Barbaric Amplification. Kind of said one day, man, I guess Matt was talking to him and telling him, hey, you know, some people are liking our stuff, and some people are asking, see if we would sell it to them. And then Chris sort of said, man, you guys just need to do it. So we did. And we established an LLC, came up with a name, made a logo, figured out how to make a website. And then from that point on, every time we make a piece of gear, we learn a ton and we iterate. We just, you know, learning a lot of lessons, sort of come up with I think more elegant or being clever about how we use technology and take advantage of manufacturing capabilities. So we found Protocase, for example. I mentioned at the beginning. Great enabler for us to be able to do this stuff both quickly, even the ability to customize it. So because we can only afford to run small batches of stuff. You know, we don't have we have to manage our cash flow because we were just two guys sort of doing this. So so we run small batches and both working with these companies that make good affordable PCBs, legit PCBs that come fully, you know, quality tested, and then with guys that help us with the cases. And another thing, the third piece, the third enabler, I would say, is Mauser. Just incredible to be able to go into the website, and Mauser has a distribution center here in Dallas. So sometimes we'll order stuff before noon, and that next morning we're getting boxes with stuff. So sort of, I guess, things aligned in the universe for us to be able to do this. And it's been a great journey. I'm going to put this lid on here because I'm going to power it on. and I'm gonna sort of work around it. But that's it. It's been an incredible journey. The most satisfying things, it's a combination of both just realizing that we could make this stuff, but more importantly that that there's people out there that really appreciate it, and then meeting the guys that use the gear has just been really rewarding. A lot of nice people. Wish we had more time or to visit. I'd love to go on like a European tour, because we've had some people in Europe that have found the brand, and we've shipped a lot of units to several countries, or just here. You know, I'd love to go to Brooklyn, New York. We did go to Nashville. We did get an opportunity to go to NAMM. Met some really cool, awesome people there. But we have units in Chicago. We have units in a lot of units in California. We're going to be going to NAMM in LA this summer. So, and then this big project that we're getting ready to build now, because all the parts are now showing up, is the console. So we're going to have a separate series or document what we're going to call the console journey, and so yeah, it's been extremely rewarding. If you want to know more about us, so you guys can go to our website and look at our product lineup. It'll show you our Porsche Street Stomp tone box, which is a transformer box. We have 500 series modules, we have rack modules, we have op amps. You can look at our custom projects. We love working on custom projects. It's a lot of fun, especially because we get ideas from y'all, and then we get to sort of like see if it's feasible or not. And right now we took on a pretty big custom project. So for you guys that have been asking, we've sort of told you, hey, we got to finish this console. So we're going to be documenting our console journey, because we're going to start building it next week. So expect videos on that. You can see about our technical support. Like I mentioned before, we started with Sound Workshop. So here in the site, we have a lot of documentation on the mods, different things that we did. Another cool thing that we worked on was some Siemens 295 EQs. On one of these custom projects, had to put a lot of transformers in a box, and we made these 3D printed brackets. They're here if you want them. We put the links to Thingiverse, so just go ahead and print them and just tell us how you like them. We love getting feedback. We love getting questions. We love getting your ideas on how we can make the product better. And so yeah, and one last thing, I told you guys I was going to show you a side-by-side comparison of an original QP5 versus what we have now. So I'm holding here one of the very first. This is my personal one. We ran low on some transformers, so I robbed the Jensens out of this guy, but I need to put them back on there so I can use it. Same, I would say, very similar functionality as the one that it's on the catalog right now, but you can see the differences here. This guy's really heavy. Has a toroidal transformer, and then a lot of wiring, and now we sort of streamlined that, and then yeah, pretty big difference, and all possible by the fact that, you know, we found these resources. The community has been extremely helpful, and then places like JLC PCB, where we learned how to make quick PCBs and prototyping stuff, to learning how to use LT Spice and Protocase with their software Protocase Designer, being able to use, you know, tools for characterizing and doing spectrum analysis. So it's just, I would say, finding out that we could do this sort of restored faith in humanity for me, and it's just been extremely rewarding. So I'll quit yapping about how rewarding everything's been. And I'll let you guys go. So expect more as we start building our console next week. Stay safe and productive, like we like to say. Bye.